Welcome to ESPNU Thursday night college football in the Sun Belt Conference as the Idaho Vandals visit the Troy Trojans from Veterans Memorial Stadium in Troy, Alabama. Glad you could join us on this Thursday night along with former collegiate and NFL quarterback Jay Walker. I'm Mark Neely. Troy known this year for the end of September when they went to Baton Rouge and beat LSU by 3 points. It's November. We're still talking about that game.
A signature win not only for this Troy program but for the Sun Belt Conference as a whole. This is the Troy program that's been trending upwards in the right direction. That was a signature victory, but also I think the following week was important as well. Their next game here at home, South Alabama came in here and really thumped the Trojans pretty good. Let's see if they've learned from that experience.
And Troy gets Idaho tonight. We often talk about the experience at quarterback. Well, for tonight's matchup, we have more experience at the quarterback position than any game in NCAA history.
Yeah, that's a lot of experience you're going to see behind the center with Matt Linehan and Brandon Silvers. Anytime you got a quarterback that experience, that's a dangerous offense that can really do some damage.
Two quarterbacks, Jay, but very different styles.
Yeah, absolutely. What you get from Matt Linehan, he's your typical NFL pocket passer. Not afraid to stretch the defense with his big arm, likes to throw the ball in the vertical passing game downfield. He's got enough of an arm strength where he can actually attack the defensive secondary and make them defend the deep thirds like NFL scouts like to see with that arm. And then you go to the flip side of it, and Brandon Silvers, well, we can call him Quick Trigger Silvers. He's going to get rid of that football in a hurry. Will rarely hold the football longer than 2 seconds, has a very quick release, extremely accurate. He's a guy that makes you defend the field, not only vertically, but horizontally as well.
Troy with the win last weekend here against Georgia Southern. Their 6 wins, so they are bowl eligible for the second consecutive year. And Troy beat Ohio in the Dollar General Bowl in Mobile last year. Idaho beat Colorado State in the famous Idaho Potato Bowl. So fun matchup tonight here in the Sun Belt. Troy won the toss and deferred. They will kick off. Troy wearing the gray tops tonight. And Idaho in the white tops with the gray pants. And off we go as Bratcher Underwood has that bounce through the back line for a touchback. And that brings out Matt Linehan. If that last name sounds familiar, Jay, there's a very good reason why.
He's got NFL lineage, and he's got a lineage of football players, particularly quarterbacks within his family, but his father, Scott, offensive coordinator in the NFL. But what you really like about Linehan, 6'3", 240 pounds, can distribute the ball. He's a pleasure to watch attacking opposing defenses.
You mentioned his dad, Scott, who played at Idaho, as did his uncles, Rick and Ron, Matt's uncles, Scott's brothers. Aaron Duckworth comes out in the backfield for the Vandals. Linehan throwing on first down, a little high, but brought down by Alfonso Onenwar. But not much there, picks up a couple of yards. Yeah.
That was a simple little throw, but he made it look efficient, going right away, as you mentioned. So Onenwar, he's got to be an impact guy. He has to make some defenders miss in order to come up with those explosive plays. And Ruckert is a guy that can be intense, he can be physical, he can cover. Some people say he's the best safety in the Sun Belt Conference.
For Onenwar's 39th catch of the season, second most catches on that team. Duckworth with the carry there, brought down by Tron Folsom. Gain of 2. It's going to bring up a third down at about 5. Duckworth 739 rushing yards. That leads the Sun Belt.
And look at that average, 5.7 yards per carry. Anytime as a running back you can average over 4.5 yards per carry, you're a good one. Over 5, that makes you a special one.
Idaho on third down this year, just 34%. 3 receivers at the bottom of the screen, including Sannon, Petrino. Looking in that direction, fires for Ungerer, and Ungerer has the catch and a first down. And a fist pump from Ungerer. He's up to the 40, gain of 10.
Talk about having a big arm. This is great coverage on the wide receiver, but watch the location and velocity of this throw. Able to squeeze it in there. That's a fantastic throw, and that was great defense by the defensive back.
His head coach Paul Petrino, brother Bobby, of course, at Louisville, and Bob Sr., the father, longtime coach as well. This is an Idaho team that after this season will be transitioning down to FCS. We'll talk more about that as we progress. They'll be leaving the Sun Belt. Linehan rolling out, throws on the move, and a first down catch at midfield by Onenwar, who's out of bounds near the 45-yard line of Troy. And that's a 16-yard gain.
And here you're just going to see him move the pocket a little bit, going inside. Nice little second-level throw. Break it off. Quarterback's moving in the pocket. Good passing attacks make routes like that look simple. Offenses that struggle, balls thrown high, the timing's off, but that's a good job of pitching and catching between the quarterback and his wide receiver.
It's already a couple of catches on this drive for Alfonso Onenwar, a senior out of Cleveland. There's a carry for Aaron Duckworth, just a yard or so.
Mark, you didn't believe the scout report. I told you Onenwar was going to be an impact player, and right away he's coming out. 2 throws. Just listen to me every now and then, Mark. We'll get you there. We'll get you there.
Well, Matt Linehan has hit his first 3 passes. He's 3 of 3 so far.
As a quarterback, you kind of want to rise to this challenge. A team like Troy that's coming in here with a great defense, you want to challenge yourself against the best. And down on the field before the game, you could tell he was really juiced up.
Linehan finds a wide open Jacob Sannon, who breaks a tackle and another, and then by the shirt tail is finally pulled down at the 25-yard line. That's a 19-yard gain. Folsom and Weatherspoon eventually bring him down.
A fantastic job by Sannon after the catch, taking on contact, would-be tacklers, picking up more yards for his quarterback. Quarterbacks really like when they get those wide receivers. They give you some of those rack yards, run after catch.
So that's 175 consecutive pass attempts without a pick for Linehan, who's 4 for 4 on this opening drive for 48 yards. It's going to hand off. First carry of the night for Isaiah Saunders, just a yard to the 24, and Sam Lemby, middle linebacker, up to make the hit.
And go back to that stat on Linehan, 175 attempts without interception. As we talked about it earlier, he's throwing the ball down the field. So he's not throwing bubble screens. We haven't seen that. This is a guy that's throwing the ball down the field, really attacking, and to have that many attempts without an interception lets you know he's really seeing the game at a high level in senior year.
Second down and 9 for Idaho on this game's opening drive. Linehan going to take a shot towards the end zone and almost picked off by Andre Flakes, the intended receiver. I don't think ever looked back Sannon like he was expecting the football.
Yeah, he knew he was double coverage. You had somebody underneath and one over the top. But wow, we almost jinxed him on that interception streak. Yes.
But now a third down and 9. The ball at the 23-yard line of Troy. Linehan with time fires across the middle, incomplete at the 15 for Mason Petrino. And Ungerer there also on the coverage was Marcus Jones, a true freshman cornerback out of Enterprise, Alabama. So this drive stalls just outside the red zone. That's going to bring out Cade Coffey, who's hit 10 of 12 this year, is long a 46-yarder, and he hit against Louisiana. Off the left hash and out of the hole to A.J. Wooden. It is away with the distance, but is fading right and no good. So Coffey misses for just the 3rd time this year, and Idaho comes up empty. Troy to get the football for the first time after Idaho, a 10-play, 52-yard drive. And the Coffey miss from 40 keeps it a scoreless game as Brandon Silvers, the senior out of Orange Beach, Alabama, takes over.
I mentioned earlier, Silvers, plenty of experience, 44 career starts, making his 45th. Linehan looked pretty good on his opening drive. Let's see if Silvers can match.
Makes the handoff to Jordan Chun, who's back playing this week, and the pass a little too high and off the hands of Trey Eford.
Silver's pass is incomplete.
Eford had an early touchdown in last week's homecoming win over Georgia Southern, a pass that he caught from fellow receiver John Johnson. But there's Jordan Chunn, who missed the last 2+ games after a contusion on his leg, needed 18 stitches.
And he's a load.
Laceration, I guess, is the word I'm looking for.
Grown man running back, 6'1", 235 pounds.
It's the carry there. It's about the 26. So gain of 2 at 3rd and 8 coming up.
Number 97, Akeem Coleman on the tackle for the Bengals. Gain of 2 yards on the play. Brings it a 3rd down.
Mike and Tom, thanks very much. We welcome you to Veterans Memorial Stadium in Troy, Alabama. Along with Jay Walker, I'm Mark Neely. You've only missed one drive, the first possession of the game from Idaho, a 10-play, 52-yard drive that concluded with a missed 40-yard field goal. And here's a 3rd down on Troy's first possession of the football game. And senior quarterback Brandon Silvers throws, and it's caught for a 1st down at the 40 for Damian Willis, his 23rd catch of the year, tackled by Dorian Clark, and they pick up 14.
Yeah, think about it. This is a 12-yard completion, but look how quickly he gets rid of the football. 1,001, 1,002, that ball is gone. He throws it on timing and rhythm. He's a rhythm passer. Good job of climbing the elevator by Damian Willis to make the catch.
Troy converts on the 3rd down and 8, needed 8, picked up 14. We're in the Sun Belt tonight. A Troy team that has 6 wins, already bowl eligible. Here's Silvers firing across the middle, and perhaps hearing footsteps. DeAndre Douglas could not come up with that as Armand Hawkins was in the neighborhood.
Yeah, you have to make that catch. I mean, this is a Brandon Silvers special. Quick release, get it to you before the defender gets there. I like to say what one of my old coaches used to say.
You're going to get hit anyway.
You're going to get hit anyway. You might as well make the catch.
Douglas comes out, junior out of Madison, Alabama. Saw a quick peek at Neil Brown, the 3rd-year head coach of Troy. Silvers hands off. Here's Chunn straight ahead, doing what Mega Chunn, as they like to call him, does best. Gain of 8. And there's Neil Brown, 3rd season, just 37 years old, 6th youngest head coach in the FBS.
The job he's done here, replacing a legend in Larry Blakeney. And all he's done is kind of raise the level of expectation here. Huge victory for this university over LSU, and talk about a coaching prospect on the rise. They probably don't want to hear that here, but he got a very bright future.
4 wins in his first year, 10 last year, and now 6 so far this year. There's the carry and a 1st down across midfield. Tony Lashley able to stop Chunn.
Here's what makes Troy unique, where they got a guy like Chunn who can really run the rock and stretch it, but then they go to Henderson in the backfield to go along with that quick strike, zone read running game.
Henderson is checked in. Silvers thrown to the far side, and it's too high and incomplete over the head of Damian Willis.
Yeah, that's what I say about Silvers. He's going to get rid of that football. Now, if the receiver's in the spot or not, that's on him. But 2 to 3 seconds in, Silvers knows where he's going with the football, and it's not uncommon to see him make a number of incompletions like that.
As Silvers came into this game having not been sacked in his last 73 pass attempts, so he's added to that, which all adds to your point, Jay, that he likes to get rid of the football quickly. Josh Anderson now in. They fake the jet sweep to Douglas. They give to Josh Anderson his first carry, just a yard, as Leonard Hayeswood, the 22 linebacker, up to make the tackle for Idaho.
One of the things that concerned Neil Brown was Idaho's front 6 or 7. Said they've got a defensive line that can really get after it. We talk about Hayeswood and King Coleman, Caden Ellis, those guys. And it seems like right now, early on, Troy's struggling a little bit at the line of scrimmage to contain that defensive front line.
Well, they converted a 3rd down and 8 earlier on this possession. Now a 3rd down and 9. Troy made some late substitutions, so the center judge standing over the ball, which allowed Idaho to sub as well. And Silvers pressured, in trouble now on the run, fires an incomplete at the 37-yard line for Trey Eford. 4th down.
Here's the penetration that we talked about, forcing Silvers to get off of his spot, flushing him out of the pocket. forced an incomplete pass, and now Troy set to punt the ball back to Idaho.
David Ungerer back at his own 10 to receive this punt for the Vandals from Tyler Sumter. Averaging 43 yards per punt this year, as long as a 60-yarder. Fair catch called for and taken at the 14 by Ungerer. That's a 34-yard punt with no return. Second possession for the Vandals coming up.
ESPN Thursday Night College. As Idaho and their quarterback Matt Linehan back on the field. Good drive their first possession, but it resulted in a 40-yard missed field goal. So Paul Petrino, the head coach of the Vandals, second chance for his offense. They begin at their own 15-yard line. Linehan came out strong though in that first possession, throwing the ball well. Saunders motions out of the backfield. Linehan lets it go in time, and the catch is made by Ungerer, who avoids the first tackler, then pushed out of bounds at the 20 by Tron Folsom for a gain of 5.
Yeah, we talked earlier how they've got, running backs averaging over 5 yards per carry, but yet we know that Idaho's saying we're going to test that secondary of the Trojans. Rightfully so, this Trojan defense only allows 109 yards per game rushing. That's one of the top rushing defense in the country. So why run into a brick wall when you've got a quarterback able to test the secondary and throw the football down the field?
Gonna hand off to Duckworth off right tackle and spun down at the 22. But he gains 4 and a third and a manageable 2 coming up.
And I still think you continue to throw the football. This seems like it would be an obvious run situation. However, with a defense that's that stingy against the run, I want to keep the ball in the hands of my senior quarterback.
Anwar at the top of the screen. Ungerer, who's been a more frequent target for Linehan the last few games, in the slot up top. Anwar comes in motion. From under center, Linehan. Play fake. Lets it go, and the pass is dropped by the tight end Lukai, who does not get many thrown his way, but he was wide open.
Yeah, you have to make that catch there. Great job by Linehan of going to his secondary receiver, throws a catchable ball there. Hyde just does not make the catch. I like the play call, the decision where to go with the football.
So it's a 3 and out on the second possession for the Vandals. So Darius Rooker back to receive the punt for the Trojans.
Coffee
able to punt it from his own goal line after he gathers it, and it bounces out, and almost bounced out, bounced back in at the 43-yard line. So Idaho fortunate. Coffee is able to get the punt away, and they do at least net 22 yards on the punt. That high snap, Coffee able to get it away with that right foot.
Wow.
Yeah, because I think he's the
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3,
yeah,
1,
right.
2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Right. It sounds better now. But
yeah, I was still hot. I was having to turn my stuff down where it's hard for me to hear you, Adam. Number 4 Clemson and number 20 North Carolina State. 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific, and then at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, the 13th ranked Virginia Tech Hokies taking on unbeaten at number 10 Miami. Both games also streamed live on the ESPN app. Find out if Miami is for real.
Undefeated Miami.
Yes.
However, the rankings don't necessarily share that sentiment.
And Virginia Tech's only lost to Clemson this year, so it should be a good matchup. Good starting field position for Troy for their second possession from the 44-yard line of Idaho. Silvers once again to throw on first down and lost the football.
Oh, that's going to be Idaho ball, I think, too. What a great play.
Akeem Coleman may have jumped right on it for the Vandals.
That could be the strip sack and the fumble recovery. We talked about Akeem Coleman, the junior college transfer. They say he's very strong with fast twitch muscles. Number 97 on the bottom of your screen. Reaches out, gets a hand on the football, locates it on the ground. It's a great play by their best defensive lineman pass rusher, Akeem Coleman.
That's his second forced fumble of the year, his 4th sack. That's the first sack against Silvers in his last 79 pass attempts. And Coleman, who was the Sun Belt newcomer of the year last year, as he was a JUCO transfer out of East Mississippi Community College. So Idaho gets the ball right back, and they have it at midfield, and Linehan to throw on first down. He fires a deep shot, and in stride is caught by Onenwar, and it's a first down at, mark him at the 21-yard line, a 29-yard gain.
A lot of fun to watch this passing attack, Mark. They continue to throw the ball down the field. They get the turnover, sits tall in the pocket, makes a nice, accurate throw, 20-plus yards down the field to Onenwar, and you're seeing a good look at Matt Linehan.
A 29-yard gain, first down. This time they're going to run on first down. This game is still scoreless here, but already we've seen a couple of pretty good plays. Sizable gainers for Idaho.
Yeah, each team said they have to do it, so we're going to define a big play. We used to call them explosives in the NFL. A pass over 20 yards and running plays over 12 yards. In this game, obviously, Idaho's going to try to get a number of big plays in the passing game. And Troy, with those big running backs, they're going to need some explosive runs to keep up.
See Paul Petrino call for the timeout. So Idaho will use their first. Here's the other significant difference so far early in this game, Jay. Troy doesn't have any positive yardage on first down so far tonight, as Silvers is 0 for 3 passing on first down with a fumble. And we just saw Idaho gain 29 yards on a first down throw from Linehan. We can keep track of all that on the ESPN app. It is a fan's best friend. You can stream every ESPN and ABC college football game live, at home, or on the go, and you'll get access to scores, news, and highlights all season long. If you haven't already, download the ESPN app and start streaming now.
And this has been a pretty impressive start for the Vandals. You come in on the road, taking on the #1 team in the Sun Belt Conference, and offensively they've been able to move the ball. Don't have any points to show for it, but this is the type of start you have to have in conference play on the road when you're trying to pull off an upset.
Yeah, this is an Idaho team, came in over a 2-touchdown underdog in this game. But still looking for their first points here on their third possession, though they have moved the ball well. Linehan Under pressure, fires on the move and throws a strike inside the 20 to Onenwar. Pushed out by Marcus Jones. A gain of 4. Troy's red zone defense has been outstanding this year. They've only allowed scores on 58% of opponent trips into the red zone, which is the best in the nation.
And we saw it early on here where Idaho got the ball pretty deep in Troy territory and walked away with 0 points. They want to see if they can continue to improve on those red zone numbers. A good look at Vic Koenig, the defensive coordinator for the Trojans.
3rd down and 5. Here comes some pressure. It's picked up well, though, and Linehan has time to throw. Finds the open man. Ungerer uses a stiff arm, and he'll have the 1st down inside the 10. David Ungerer, tackled by Melton in a 9-yard gain, moves the sticks.
Red zone, they want to get pressure. You don't get to the quarterback, he's going to hurt you. What you're going to see here is just football one-on-one. Crossing route coming across the formation. Took a little longer for it to get there, but once it got there, able to get the ball to his receiver in open space. And now the Vandals have the ball inside the 10-yard line.
3 catches already tonight for Ungerer. He came in his last 2 games with 9 catches combined and 3 touchdowns in the last 2. He's become a more frequent target for Matt Linehan on 1st and goal. Fakes the handoff to Duckworth and the throw into the end zone. Onenwar, touchdown, Idaho.
They baited him. They went with the extra tight end with the double tight end formation. Made you think that they were going to run the football, power football in the red zone. Play action fake, accurate throw on the slant. Take a look, they're going to fake like they're going to run it. Pulls it out real quick. Throws a quick, accurate throw to his #1 target, my impact player who I told you about from the beginning.
You're off to a hot start. Onenwar's 5th touchdown catch of the season, and that does go up and through. And they get the points off the turnover. Linehan, his 61st touchdown pass of his career. And Linehan off to a nice start tonight. 9 for 12 through the air, already for 101 yards and a touchdown pass to Alfonso Onenwar. And 7-0 Idaho with just over 3 minutes to go in this first half and his first quarter. Scott Linehan, his father, who was the head coach of the Rams, now the Cowboys offensive coordinator. Of course, his dad, Scott, also played quarterback here at Idaho. Matt's uncles, Rich and Ron, played at Idaho as well on the defensive side. So the Linehan family connection is a long one at Idaho.
Isn't that an unfair advantage? So for Christmas break, Matt Linehan gets to go home to see his family and play catch with Tony Rojo and Dak Prescott and those guys.
Yeah, we're almost calling games now, but yeah, in past years he has. Here's Marcus Jones, tackled at the 21-yard line. You know, there's something to be said for those football families, Jay, just kind of by osmosis. If you're around it and you're interested, and obviously Matt Linehan has been so throughout his life, he has absorbed it. And that's Caden Ellis, Stan Luther Ellis, the defensive line coach for Idaho, played in the big league, or played in the NFL, and he's one of our impact players.
Yeah, best defensive player on this football team and physical specimen, 6'3", 230-pound. Played quarterback in high school, then made the switch to linebacker, and he's an impact player. And Jordan Chun, he can run the ball like an NFL running back. Gets downfield in a hurry.
He has 3 carries for 13 yards, and they hand the ball to Chun. It's the first time tonight that they have run on 1st down, and it's a gain of 2 for Chun. Stopped by Akeem Coleman, who had the strip sack and the turnover the last time.
And the Troy offensive philosophy with offensive coordinator Kenny Edenfield is to be able to run the football, but we like to throw. Well, the problem is they haven't really done a good job throwing the football, and so now they're trying to see if they can establish the running game with Jordan Chun.
Couple backs, Henderson and Chun in there on 2nd down and 8. Now Henderson motions out. They give to Chun once again. He comes off right side, and it's a foot race to the sideline. He gets to midfield before he's pushed out of bounds by true freshman DB Jalen Hoover. 27-yard run, and that's one way to get the running game going.
Yeah, huge gap just over on the right side, and Chung just absolutely dices him. Sees the contact coming over from the safety, Jalen Hoover, just a little bit late, You like to see Chung kind of deliver a blow to finish off that run on a true freshman safety. With Chung showing you at 235 pounds, he has some wheels.
Here he is once again. Could have played last week, or actually last weekend, so we're only talking about 4 or 5 days ago. Their homecoming game against Georgia Southern, but it was cooler, raining. And he missed the last 2+ games with a laceration on his leg that needed 18 stitches.
And he seems to be healthy now at 100%, so they were able to rest him. And I'll tell you, that last run was something you don't see. A 235-pound running back making jump cuts near the line of scrimmage.
And a flag before the snap. Call it from our referee, Kevin Stein.
Start. Offense, number 67, 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
First penalty of the night on either team. If you're a little woozy, don't watch or don't look at this. But these are the 18 stitches that were on the leg of Jordan Chun. So a little different type of injury. It's not like he pulled a hammy or something like that, Jay, but it was just a laceration and one of those things that has to heal.
And very tender. Imagine getting hit on that. So he's got heavy padding on that tonight. And thanks to our producer, Adam Coppinger, he just had to get that picture on the air, didn't he?
Almost a Halloween picture, kind of a Frankenstein effect there. Harry Anderson with the stop of Chun there, a gain of 3 as they get into Idaho territory.
Now I want to see the pass defense that Idaho's going to do right now. When Troy struggled versus South Alabama, their cornerbacks played a lot of man-to-man bump and run coverage to disrupt the timing of this offensive attack from Troy. So I'm curious as if Idaho has the confidence in their secondary. They're doing it right now. You see the bottom of your screen? They're lining them up to go man-to-man bump and run coverage. That's trying to disrupt the timing.
Silvers hands it off, and the run straight ahead for Josh Anderson, who picks up the first down to the 36. And a tackle by Jalen Hoover and a 13-yard run for the bulky Josh Anderson. He's 250 pounds.
Yeah, it has to be the biggest backfield in college football with Chun at 235. Anderson comes in at 250.
Fake the handoff throw, and DeAndre Douglas ushered out of bounds at about the 32 by Caden Ellis. It goes for 4 yards. And that takes us to the end of the first quarter. And the only points in the first quarter, a touchdown for Idaho. Good start tonight for Matt Linehan, a quarterback for the Vandals. Troy getting a battle on their home field. We'll head to the second quarter. Women's basketball team here at Troy being honored. We head to the second quarter. How about this, Jay? The only school in the country to win a bowl game, which the Troy football team won the Dollar General Bowl in Mobile, and have both their men's and women's basketball team win their conference tournament. It's the Troy Trojans. The first play of the second quarter, the carry for Josh Anderson, and running game becoming more effective here for Troy. That's a gain of 7.
They're really trying to force feed the run right now, and they're averaging almost 7 yards per attempt running the football. They're trying to do that to set it up because obviously they want to throw it and get these wide receivers involved. But they've got a nice running back core, and they just go from large to extra large to double X in the backfield.
Silvers, here's the screen pass. Henderson jumps off a tackler, and he's going to pick up about 5, close to the marker there at the 15. Dorian Clark, he tops in there, and that's a 10-yard pickup.
And that's Troy football. So they set it up with the run, and then all of a sudden, here's that quick pass. Let the wide receivers pick up the first down in space.
There's a quick pass to the near side. Damian Willis able to carry Jalen Hoover for a yard or 2, but still no positive yardage back to the line of scrimmage.
Mark, you almost get the feel when they have so much success running the football. I mean, Chung's established himself. We've seen Anderson establish himself as a load. You would think that they would just try and pound teams into the ground in between the tackles. I mean, when they beat LSU, they were able to run the football effectively, but they get away from it at times and start force feeding the throws.
And Jordan Chun had 191 rush yards in that win at LSU. He gets the carry here. Only a couple to about the 13. DJ Henderson, defensive tackle, bringing him down.
And runs like that, not very fun to look at. But when you've got big running backs, you want to wear down that opposing D-line.
Those 2-yard gains, as the game goes on, sometimes get busted to 10, 12-yard gains more frequently. If they face a 3rd down and 8. Silvers fires, and it's picked off at the end zone by Ed Hall. And he's up in it at the 12-yard line. Team leading 3rd pick of the season for linebacker Ed Hall, and that was not a wise decision by Silvers, who threw it into traffic.
The strength of this team on defense is, that front 6 of linebacker. Look at Hall, number 50. More impressive, look at the club on his left hand. Able to catch it right in the chest, hold on to it. Running skills, that leaves a little something to desire, but huge play by the defense.
Coming off a statement win, you either build on the momentum or watch your playoff hopes fade to black.
See how J.T. Barrett and Ohio State respond after that win over Penn State. How about Silver's start tonight? He's already turned it over twice. Just picked for the 5th time this season. Also a strip and a fumble earlier in the game. He'd only turned the ball over 4 times all season coming in on interceptions, and has turned it over twice tonight. Idaho took advantage of the first Troy turnover and turned that into a touchdown, but a late flag comes in after the run by Aaron Duckworth. Might lose a yard. And a hold against Idaho. By the way, the Idaho offensive line playing without Jordan Rose tonight. They're starting strong side tackle due to personal reasons. So that's moved Irving Schuster to the starting spot there. Looks like he did last week.
Holding offense. Number 74. Half the distance to the goal. Still 1st down.
And that hold on the strong side guard, Noah Johnson.
Now here's where it gets interesting. So you get the holding call, so they're going to go back about 6 yards because they're inside the 20, half the distance. But when you've got a quarterback that can throw the ball downfield, I'm licking my chops. I'm like, I'm going to get 3 chances to throw the football down the field to pick up these yards and maybe another explosive play.
So you're saying you would have turned down the penalty?
No, not turn it down. I'm just saying I look forward to seeing how they try to attack it now.
From his own end zone, here's a pass that's out of reach, incomplete. And that is Caden Ellis, who's checked in the first time that we have found tonight. One of their starting linebackers who plays both ways.
Good job running down the seam, and he's a guy that has the body of an NFL tight end. And last week, I don't know if you'll find a better catch that was made. Look at him use his size, go up, make the catch, and then finish off the play.
It was a 45-yard touchdown catch. He also had a team-high 10 tackles last week against Louisiana Monroe. That's quite a game. There's a run for Duckworth. When you lead the team in tackles and you also had a 40-plus yard touchdown catch, that's pretty rare.
And a special talent, just a junior, and they say his upside for learning is so high. The offensive and defensive coordinators trying to kind of argue about who gets his services during the week.
I'm sure we'll see more of Caden Ellis tonight, who's the only player in the nation that's had a sack and a touchdown in a game twice this year. Did it last week against Louisiana Monroe, also did it at Mizzou earlier in the season. 3rd down and 7. Handed off to Duckworth off left tackle, and he is going to run for the 1st downs. Races past the 25 up near the 30 before he's tackled by Seth Callaway, and a 12-yard run for the senior from Orange Park, Florida.
Yeah, they caught them trying to blitz, and what happened, the linebackers ran themselves out. You're going to see the linebackers run a little stunt here in terms of trying to get to the quarterback, anticipating some type of pass. It was a little run. They slipped it in there behind them. Huge hole. Easy pickup on 1st down. For the 1st down, I should say.
Keep it on the ground, 1st down, but this time Duckworth hit in the backfield, and he's going to lose a yard thanks to Marcus Webb and Seth Callaway. Callaway, who's been been a bit limited with a bad foot, but he's in there starting tonight. Duckworth goes out after the 1-yard loss. There's Seth Callaway, big 6'3", 252-pound senior. Got the bad wheel, but playing. And Unger at the top of the screen. Play clock down under 5, down to 3. They get it off in time. Linehan across the middle and a strike up to the 35-yard line. It's Jacob Sannon into the arms of Hunter Reese for an 8-yard gain.
That's a good job going through your progressions and reading the soft zone coverage, realizing he was going to have time to hit the third option on the passing route. Seems right now this Troy defense, they just seem like they're really playing on their heels. Whenever they try to attack the pocket, then Idaho's smart enough to run the ball, and whenever they try and play soft zone, Linehan's good enough to pick it apart.
Vandals 3 of 5 on third down, and 3rd and 3. Handoff. Saunders stood up right at the line of scrimmage at the 35 for no gain.
Same things that make you laugh, make you cry. In that case there, Koenig dialed up another blitz, and this time was able to get to the target, get the ball carrier behind the line of scrimmage and force the punt.
Cade Coffey, remember earlier the snap from Luke Hyde went over his head. He was able to come up with it near the goal line and at least get a punt off.
Look out.
Another high snap. Coffey being chased, and he somehow punted it, and it takes a Vandals bounce all the way inside the 45-yard line. How in the world did Cade Coffey get this punt off? I mean, it's a 24-yard punt, but it's the best 24-yard punt you're ever going to see.
Fantastic job. This is really keeping points off the board. Keeps his wherewithal, just gets it off, and what a play. Won't show up in the stat sheet, but a huge play.
That's the backup long snapper, Alex Boatman, who's getting loose. And I think next time special teams requires a snap, it's going to be Boatman instead of Luke Hyde. That's twice now Hyde snaps. It could have easily turned into 2 touchdowns for Troy, but somehow Cade Coffey, this is the first one from earlier tonight that he got off. And then this is the one just moments ago. I mean, this could have easily been a block and a touchdown for Troy.
And each time, even if they just make the tackle, just get the kickoff, then you're looking at Troy getting the ball on the 5-yard line, which we know would have made up for some points for Troy. So fantastic job by Coffey. He's the MVP for this team so far.
And Coffey took some punishment getting that last punt away. He got hit pretty hard, so he's being checked out on the sideline. Caden Ellis with a tackle here. Getting Henderson.
This is a good job by Caden Ellis. Making this tackle, there's a lot of space there, a lot of room. They're trying to isolate him on Henderson, and he's a good job making the open field tackle, minimizing the number of yards gained. Not as easy as it looks.
Running right, this is Henderson. He got a pretty good head of steam before he's hit out of bounds by Dorian Clark. You're talking about the large, extra large, and double X. Yeah. I guess this is the guy you would say the large guy, Henderson, who's 200 pounds.
Yeah, who's just a normal size running back for today's college football landscape at 5'11", 200 pounds. But you know what's funny is he's the smallest one, but he's the most violent runner of them all. He's a one-cut guy that likes to attack defenses.
On the 3rd and less than a yard, the keep on the sneak by Silvers.
And this is that drive, I think, if you're Neil Brown, you know, you tell your offense, we're going to run the football. You know, we're having success running the football. Until they show us they can stop us running the football, we're going to force feed that run a little bit and try and wear them down and get some points on the board before the half.
Silvers faked the handoff to Chun. Now he's being chased. Throws on the move. And the catch is made by John Johnson. Best pass of the night, far and away by Brandon Silvers, and a 26-yard gain.
And it's something we don't see him do much. Moves out the pocket, which he's capable of doing. A little bit of a risky pass as the defensive back peels off it, but accurately thrown ball big play for the Trojans.
Gain of 27. First down from just outside the 20. Silvers again pressured. Will run and be tackled at about the 15 by Leonard Hayeswood.
Still very impressed at the job of the defensive line from Idaho. Really forcing Brandon Silvers off of his spot. Keem Coleman and Hayeswood. Zach Cable, son of Tom Cable, in the coaching lineage tree. But you'll see that's not really Brandon Silver's game, leaving the pocket, getting flushed out. He likes to get rid of the football, quickly make a decision, but have to give credit to this Vandal defensive line.
And Vandals defense without Ty Graham tonight, one of their starting linebackers with a knee injury, which should give Christian Ellis, the younger brother, Caden Ellis, some time. And here's Chun into the end zone, touchdown. Well, they had a chance to bring him down at about the 8-yard line, but missed him, and that's a 16-yard TD run for Jordan Chun, his 7th rushing touchdown of the year.
He's got the ability to get to the edge. And that's what you normally don't find, a big running back with the ability to get to the edge, cut on a dime, make a defender miss, and takes number 33, Tony Lashley, into the end zone for a ride.
Boy, he put a move on the safety Armand Hawkins at about the 8. Bratcher Underwood for the point after, and it is 7-7 with just over 6 minutes to go in the first half.
Well, get to the outside. Rip, rip. Nice move. Come on, ride this train. We're tied here in Troy.
ESPN Thursday Night College Football, brought to you by Sonic's Car Hop Classic. Pair a foot-long coney or a cheeseburger with onion rings for $2.99.
Troy Trojans have just tied this game at 7 with 6:01 to play in the first half. From Troy, Alabama on this Thursday night, Jordan Chun all stitched up and ready to go, and has a rushing touchdown to tie this game. Chun down 9 carries, 67 yards, so he's averaging about 7.5 yards a carry. Duckworth back to receive this kick from Bratcher Underwood. And this one will be returnable from the 4 for Duckworth. And vertically along the 15, has a little blocking help across the 20 and out to about the 26-yard line. Matt Linehan so far 10 for 14, 109 passing yards.
Yeah, just really doing a good job of pushing the ball downfield. And he came in saying he likes to throw the second-level throws. He's a downfield passer. He hasn't disappointed. That was a great throw there off the play action with the fastball in there for a strike. Really impressed with how Linehan has the ability to make all of the throws. And they're going to need him to make a lot more, as Troy looks like they found their rhythm on offense behind their running game.
A touchdown pass to Onenwar. Onenwar had 5 catches in the first quarter for 60 yards. He had a team-high 7 grabs last week against UL Monroe. On the ground, Isaiah Saunders for 5 to the 31.
And I really do like to see the way that Idaho attacks throwing the football. It's almost as if they're doing a favor to Troy whenever they decide to run the football. But every time Linehan drops back to pass, you just have a feeling something good is going to happen.
Caden Ellis has checked in. He's in that tight end spot on the right side of the line. And Linehan is going to be sacked back at the 21-yard line. I think he was looking Ellis's way. He was
open.
Yeah.
The protection wasn't there for him. Good job by Sam Levy, but you'll see here once Ellis will go all the way across the formation, he's waiting for him to get there. That's just a poor job of protecting the quarterback. Only a 3-man rush, and they were able to get to him.
That 28 sacks this year allowed by the Idaho offense. Last in the Sun Belt, that's 5th in the nation, and that's, you don't want to be 5th in the nation. You want to be next to last for sacks allowed.
And maybe that's some of the reason why we don't see them throwing the ball 40, 50 times. If you can't protect the quarterback, then that doesn't become an option for you.
Head coach Paul Petrino will use his second time out of the half. Fifth season for Paul Petrino, who was the Sun Belt Conference Coach of the Year last year. Brother Bobby Jr., the head coach in Louisville, and Dad Bob Sr., a longtime coach as well. Well, fresh off their remarkable comeback win over Penn State, J.T. Barrett and the 6th-ranked Ohio State Buckeyes taking on Iowa at Kinnick Stadium in Iowa City. Saturday, 3:30 Eastern on ESPN, and also available on the ESPN app. J.T. Barrett quieted a lot of doubters last weekend with a really good performance.
Yeah, really put Penn State behind the 8-ball. A lot of the college football playoff kind of similar to last year, where you have to have that win over a program that gets you in. Well, Ohio State had that win over Oklahoma that was going to keep them above the Sooners all year. Well, this year the Sooners have that victory over the Buckeyes, so you start to think that Ohio State's going to need Oklahoma to fall a little bit.
Idaho tonight 3 of 6 on 3rd down. This is a 3rd and a long one. 3rd and 14. Line to gain is up at the 36. Linehan breaking down, so he's going to take off with it. Linehan running, and then he's trying to barrel over.
Uses it 240 pounds.
And Linehan runs for the first down, a 16-yard run. And that's the reaction you get after that from Matt Linehan. It looked like the defender, instead of trying to tackle him, was trying to strip the football away. And Linehan, who's a big guy, 240 pounds, just kept going.
Yeah, and this is how you use it, 240 pounds. You've got the contact, the drive, bouncing off of him. He sees the first down marker. And look at the bench and everybody, including the quarterback, getting hyped up on the Vandal sideline.
And number 18, Blaze Brown, was the one who tried to strip instead of complete the tackle. It was a pass batted down and almost came down in the hands of Hunter Reese for Troy, but nonetheless, Jamal Statham, number 30 there.
Statham's been a mainstay at that defensive tackle position for Troy. One of the best in the conference.
Brother Marty played D-line at Troy before him. And
tell you what, if that ball doesn't get deflected, I think Blaze Brown might have had a little get back. He jumped that route on the outside. That could have been a pick 6. There's nobody deep in the middle of the field. We're going to bring some pressure.
And Linehan able to get rid of it. Sannon using a stiff arm, but then is tackled only about a yard shy of the first down by Cedarius Rookard.
Rookard, the free safety, they're putting him in coverage to cover the wide receivers. If you're going to blitz, you must make sure you make a good effort of open field tackling, and that's why Rookard was able to stop the receiver short of the first down.
25th consecutive start for Rookard tonight. 3rd and 1. And they're going to run it and get the first down and more with Saunders, who spun around and lands on his backside at about the 37. Chris Witherspoon with the stop, but let's see if this 18-yard gain comes back with a flag back near the line of scrimmage.
Holding offense, number 66, 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Replay 3rd down.
So the center, Connor Verba. And I think where the hold occurred, he had enough for the first down, but
you see Verba, number 66, there in the middle on number 49. The running back was already past him through the hole. They had the first down yardage. It's just a freshman mistake by Connor Verba, who's still a work in progress. Played his best game a week ago, but that's a costly penalty right there.
So what was a 3rd and 1? It looked like a first down run for Saunders. Is now going to back him up to a 3rd and 8.
How about the job that Paul Petrino's done at Vanderbilt? I'm sorry, at Idaho, thinking Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact is, they're going through a lot right now. You mentioned earlier the fact that they're going down to FCS football. When he signed on to be the coach, it was to be at an FBS program. They win 9 football games a season to go win their bowl game, and the reward is you're going to the Big Sky. But I think he's had the right attitude throughout it all. He's going to coach football. He's going to be the steadying force that they need right now at that program, that university.
Yeah, that bowl game win over Colorado State, the famous Idaho Bowl, famous Idaho Potato Bowl, right before Christmas last year. 61-50 was the final. That was the highest scoring bowl game last year, and that game was scoreless after 1 quarter.
Wow. Became a basketball game in the second, third, and fourth quarter.
And Idaho got outscored 36-20 in the fourth quarter, but still won by 11.
And did you see that graphic in terms of Idaho football in the Sun Belt? I mean, trending in the right direction. 6-2. Now they're 2-2 in very close games this season. And I know it's got to be a little bit disheartening to have them make the move, but things happen for a reason.
Yeah, geographically, no other real good move for them. They didn't want to be an independent again and going to the FCS into the Big Sky, and that's out of the hands of Onenwar. Incomplete at midfield. Would have been enough for the first down. Blaze Brown had the coverage.
Now, this is not a good sign now for you have to drop, but now they got to punt the football too.
Yeah, and let's see who comes out as the long snapper. We usually don't say that on a punt, but Alex Boatman is going to snap instead of Luke High. Well, the last 2 snaps have not gone well, but Cade Coffey has made the best out of a 22 and 24-yard punts those last 2 times. Much better snap. And Coffey repays that with a boot to Rookert. We'll get a couple of yards on the return across the 25. So a 38-yard punt for Coffey with the good snap and a 3-yard return. ABC College Football presented by K coming up on Saturday. Number 4 Clemson, and that's followed by Virginia Tech and Miami at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 Pacific. Both those games streamed live also on the app. Troy takes over, and Silver's keeping, and then I don't know if I should call that a slide or just kind of tumbled down.
And the key is positive yardage on first down. That's all offensive coordinators want. Doesn't have to be pretty. Picked up 2 yards instead of losing 2 yards. That's managing the game. Good job by Brandon Silvers.
A couple of timeouts left for Troy. We're just over 2 minutes to play in the first half. Silvers hit as he throws, and incomplete. That's Leonard Hayeswood, number 22, in pursuit of the quarterback.
And Hayeswood's played a pretty good football game. Been very active from that hybrid defensive line / linebacker position. And the key to Idaho defensively is being able to get Brandon Silvers off his spot, not allowing him to make those quick throws. The defensive backs have tightened up their coverage on the wide receivers, closing the gaps, and just making them hold the ball that split second longer, not allowing him to really find a rhythm.
Troy has converted 4 of their 6 third downs. Just barely got that play off in time. The pass across the middle and complete for the first down. All the way up near midfield is DeAndre Douglas in a 20-yard gain.
It all started with the protection up front. You see a nice little pocket, able to step up and find Douglas coming across the cover 2 formation, finding the soft spot in the middle.
It's Henderson who's shaken up.
We talked about big plays, explosive plays were going to be a factor in this game. And you see there, Troy offensively 2 passes over 20 yards, and more importantly, I think it was those 3 rushes for over 12 yards that helped them tie up this ball game, and which I think they're going to need that number to go up for offensive coordinator Kenny Edenfield.
Kenny Edenfield there in the middle, he told us about Jamarius Henderson, that he is a violent runner. Well, he was able to get off under his own power there, so hopefully he's able to come back, but they got the big guy Chun to carry. The 47, Christian Ellis, younger brother of Caden Ellis, making the tackle for the Vandals defense.
Welcome to college football, Christian Ellis, true freshman out of Valor Christian High School in Colorado.
Over to the far side, and
that's a hold.
Thompson, that's going to come back and see the flag.
Yeah, wide receiver holding on the outside. Is able to spring Thompson.
Holding. Offense. Number 6. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Replay. Second down.
Sidney Davis, number 6, and see him just grab him up top high, and
a little acting there by Hightower didn't hurt his cause. Get that flag thrown. Backs him up to the 48 of Idaho on the delay, and Chun no gain. Tony Lashley, middle linebacker, who's been their leading tackler this year for Idaho, able to come up and make the tackle. Troy will use their second timeout. While we have a moment, let's take a look at our news and notes in the Sun Belt Conference.
The Fun Belt, Mark, the Fun Belt. When we're doing news and notes, it's the Fun Belt.
Well, it's fun for Troy because they're the first Fun Belt team to reach bowl eligibility with their 6th win of the season coming last week against Georgia Southern, who has an interim head coach.
Yeah, they do. Georgia Southern, what's going on? Things have changed so fast. They made a switch in their offensive coordinators from a season ago. Then they end up making a change. So Lunsford has a job, and that's a lot of tradition you have to mix in there. So with Georgia Southern, I think the trouble is finding the balance of new school and old school.
Plays Taylor, Arkansas State. Punt return yards, over 1,000 careers, second player in Sun Belt history. And next year, the conference will have a championship game, which will be played at the team that has the highest ranking.
Yeah, what they're going to do is it's going to be played at home. It'll be a host institution. So often with conference championship games, they want to move them to a neutral site. Well, I think the Fun Belt is going to say, no, the regular season is going to count in terms of who gets to host this game. So got some interesting things going on in the Sun Belt / Fun Belt Conference. And we mentioned Troy eligible, but they've got about 4 or 5 different, they got 5 bowl ties that the Sun Belt Proud Conference is affiliated with. Neil Brown and his Trojans, they're one of the first ones to qualify.
68 seconds left in this first half. They have a timeout, a 3rd down and 7 though, and there's a run and a 1st down for Chun. Inside the 40, tripped up by Christian Ellis, and a 9-yard run from Mega Chun.
That's when you feed him. You let him keep running the football. They've had a lot of success gashing this defense for big runs.
Here comes the pressure. Silvers fires and incomplete. That was the tight end, Clark Quisenberry, reaching for that pass.
And as we continue to see, scouting reports accurate on Silvers. Have you seen it? He's going to get rid of that football. If nothing else, that ball's coming out. But I will give him credit. He's run the ball effectively tonight as well. When it wasn't there, able to regroup, gather, and make a couple throws on the run too.
Silvers across the middle, and spun down is Damian Willis at the 32. And a flag back in the backfield.
Personal foul. Chop block. Offense. Number 67 and number 78. 15 yards from the previous spot. Replay. Second down.
The left tackle, Stephen Rousey, and the left guard, Kurt Kelly.
Yeah, so these are going to be the 2 guys right here. Let's take a look. The rule is if you're engaged, one is engaged low, the other one comes high. It's when Kurt Kelly, the left guard, finishes him off after the attempted chop block, the attempted cut block. That produced a flag. Good job by the officials catching that.
So pushes the Trojans back to their own 46-yard line, where it's 2nd and 25. Well, they had whistled to restart the clock. But then the officials stop it and converse. So we got our back judge, Jay Brown, talking with the referee, Kevin Stein.
Clock will start on my red.
Neil Brown's wanting to know what's going on with the clock right now.
With this 4 wide receiver package with 1 safety high, look for Silvers try and maybe stick a seam route.
On the game clock, please.
Need to add some time to the clock. There we go. You see the construction, that end zone down there that they're putting in the new football offices and some stands. Silvers, deep shot. Willis going up after it, incomplete.
Oh, almost intercepted. Now, good job of getting off the hash by Armand Hawkins, number 8. I think take a look at this one. He did a good job of flying over, balls in the air, out of bounds. That's why he plays defensive back and not wide receiver. Good wide receiver would have dead those legs, come up with the interception, but nevertheless, good job by Hawkins breaking on the ball.
3rd down at 25. Line to gain is the 29. There's another long pass in the direction of Douglas, fighting for it. He got hit hard at the end and pops right back up. Armand Hawkins, and there is the flag. This could be a targeting call here. And instead of 4th down, we'll see about the call. And
we know he can break off the hash in a hurry, but it sounded like a pretty violent hit down on that sideline in today's player
like
safety.
A defenseless player.
Yeah.
We'll see if this is targeting, and if so, against Hawkins, the replay official can take a look at this, who's John Lane tonight. Otherwise, Hawkins may find himself out of the game.
Personal foul, targeting, defense, number 1. Previous play is under further review.
I think he's got the number wrong. He said 1, but it should be on 8. Armand Hawkins.
He comes over.
From that angle, I don't think so.
You know what's tough is he does lower the helmet and hits him with the top part of the crown of the helmet, but it's kind of a tough position for a football play. But right there, he kind of lowers it, but it's almost.
I thought he hit him with his shoulder from that angle.
I thought I saw helmet. What I heard when that play was run.
I agree with it. In live time, it made a loud sound. Look at the targeting rule to familiarize yourself with it.
And I think it's going to be the bottom one. Any forcible hit by the crown of the helmet. You know, they're trying to make it clear. See what you hit. If you hit them with the face mask, then they're not going to call that. But when you dip that head, that's that crown of the helmet. And it's it's a tough one. Was it a malicious type hit? I don't think so. Let's see if this angle shows us anything. He's looking, he sees everything, and he goes lower, helmet to helmet. That's targeting.
Yeah, from that angle, I agree.
I mean, that's where you just want him to put the shoulder in there.
After further review, the rolling on the field stands. Targeting on number 8 from Idaho. By rule, number 8 is disqualified. 15-yard penalty in the previous spot, automatic. 1st down.
So Hawkins out for the second half and the rest of the 23 seconds of this half. And you heard the call from the replay official, John Lane. The call stood. It wasn't confirmed. So from the angles that we had, the replay official couldn't confirm the call, but did have it stand. So Hawkins out for the rest of this game. And for Troy, importantly, he keeps the drive alive. They still have that 1 timeout and a 1st down with 23 seconds to go from inside the 40 of the Vandals. Silvers, quick strike. Eford to the sideline, out of bounds at about the 35, thanks to Jordan Grabsky.
Maybe trying to set him up for that sucker play where they fake the wide receiver screen, then take a shot down the field if you fall for the play fake. See number 3, Caden Ellis playing defensive end right now, trying to get some pressure on the quarterback with a pass rush.
Silvers with time to throw to the 25, and the sliding grab is made once again by Eford. First down, stops the clock with 11 seconds left. They still have that one timeout. Let's see if he's going to spike it here, and Silvers will do that. I don't know if any time came off the clock at all. That's some friendly home timekeeping.
Little home timekeeping.
11 seconds left here in the first half. Coming up at the half. From the studio, the college football playoff, how we got here, and also the roundtable discussion. The top 4 and the top 10. And how about a give me 5, Jay? Yeah, they're going to take a few seconds off that clock. Jay's going to have things you need to know about Idaho football.
You don't see Idaho on national television quite a bit, and we don't know how many more times we'll see them. So I think there are a couple things you need to know about Vandal football.
Let's see what the Trojans do with 9 seconds left. Silvers across the middle. They're going to need to use a timeout and try a field goal now as Eford is tackled at the 25. Well, Troy, which has not led tonight, can go to the locker room with the lead if they can hit this field goal with 4 seconds left.
What a job it would be for Troy, because I thought they got thoroughly outplayed by this Idaho team. The Idaho defensive line had an impact on the game. Linehan was throwing the ball up and down the field. For Neil Brown and his Troy Trojans to have an opportunity to go into the locker room at halftime with the lead, maybe that says something about the endurance of this football team. It's about the same spot we saw Idaho miss their field goal attempt on their opening drive.
Well, as long as 28, you're looking at a 40-yard attempt here from just inside the left hash. Good snap, kicks away. It has the distance, and there's a career long for Tyler Sumter. And Troy has their first lead, and it comes on the final play of the first half. Well, they got outplayed really in that first quarter, Jay, but Troy able to bounce back in quarter number 2.
Setting up for what's going to be a very interesting second half, because Idaho's come here with bad intentions, trying to get a victory here in Troy.
Halftime in Troy, Alabama, and the Trojans lead the Vandals 10-7. Sound of the South. Jay, they are darn good.
I think if I had to rank Give Me 5 for my top 5 non-HBCU bands, they'd be in that top 5 and that top of the list. Really good band.
Great performance by the Sound of the South here at the half. We're just about ready for the start of the second half between the Trojans and Vandals, but how about some Give Me 5 from Jay Walker?
Do I throw it as good as Silvers and Linehan? Back in my day, I could throw with anybody. You know that, Mark Neely. That wasn't a factor there. But how about this, Idaho bowl game last year, the reality is they're going down a level to the FCS. So I think there's some things people need to know about Idaho football.
Well, give me 5, man.
How about this? Although they're going down, the short time they've been up, they're undefeated in bowl games. A lot of people probably didn't know that. 3-0. Now, those wins are all at the famous Idaho Potato Bowl, but it's homemade. They win the game. They win.
Number 4.
John Freeze, quarterback there. He was the guy that kind of got it going with the winning ways there. Played in the National Football League for about 10 years. I remember with the Chargers. So he was a record-setting quarterback there. Won the Peyton Award. People don't realize that when he was at Idaho. Jerry Kramer.
How is he not in the Pro Football Hall of Fame? I was stunned when I found that out. One of Lombardi's great linemen.
And that's why I put him on my list, because he needs that push. So he is a finalist from the selection committee, the senior veteran committee, to make it to the NFL Hall of Fame. He should be their legendary lineman for the Green Bay Packers. He also is a Vandal from Idaho. Number 2, my competitor back in the day. Doug, every time I see you, I'm mad at you. You won my Peyton Award. So the year I was a senior, Doug Nussmeier won the Peyton Award for Idaho. They know him around here because he's offensive coordinator for that school called University of Alabama for a while.
Heard of them.
And one of the young coaching geniuses out there in college football. Number one thing you got to know about Idaho football,
Kibby Dome, baby.
The Kibby Dome. They should call it a little mini dome. You know, it only holds about 15, 16,000. So that's not quite your big dome, but it's a Kibby Dome. So, you know, the Kibby Dome, hey, but when they're winning, very tough place to win football games.
Yeah, and there's some evenings in like November where you're pretty happy that you're inside.
That you're inside.
The Kibby Dome in Moscow, Idaho.
Not quite the Fargo Dome, but there. And a couple things on the bubble. We got to talk about Mark Schlereth, who was a lineman there. And Big Sky. So now they're going to change up from traveling all over the place to get ready to play Eastern Washington and Montana. They're going to bring back that rivalry. And it's not going to be easy for them in the Big Sky, one of the premier conferences in all of FCS football.
Going back to the Big Sky, which they were in until 1995. Well, Linehan got off to the very good start in the first quarter, and then Silvers kind of bounced back in quarter number 2.
Yeah, I thought Linehan proved that he was probably the best football player on the field in that first half, but Silvers got it going when the running game got going for Troy. That's when they were able to put some points on the board and make an impact. And I think it's shaping up for one of these quarterbacks is going to have to make a play for their team to have a victory. This game is still very much up for grabs.
Troy gets the football to begin the second half, and from a couple of yards deep, bouncing off a tackle at the 15. Here comes Sannon now to the near side. Stutter steps at the 25 to the 30, lowers his shoulder, and it's the kicker, Coffey, who brings him down at about the 35-yard line.
That is a good job by Jones, showing the balance there, not going down, keeps the legs going. And I like the kick-out block he's going to get right here by number 15. That's a great job of getting in the way by Damian Willis, extending the run back, picking up more yardage.
Yeah, got my number 8s mixed up. That was Marcus Jones, a true freshman, on the return. And let's take a look at the quarterback comparison tonight.
I mean, both of them have 11 completions. I think the key is we've seen Linehan throw that ball downfield a little bit more, and the wide receivers have gotten into it. I think Linehan's played about what we thought. I still think Silvers is going to play a little bit better in the second half.
Carry for Chun to begin the half, and he's across the 40. Picks up about 6 on first down. So he's just 50 rushing yards away now from 3,000 in his career. Look at the career numbers. Number 2 now all-time in Troy rushing history behind Betterson.
One thing about Chung, who doesn't get credit for, pretty good hands out of the backfield. For a large running back, he can catch pretty well and do some damage on the perimeter.
Yeah, he's got 20 catches on the season. Here's the option from Silvers. Davis, and 3 flags come flying at midfield. And a hold, and it's coming back. And we saw Troy and Silvers running a little option.
Holding offense, number 8. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Replay, second down.
That was on Emmanuel Thompson.
Second time we've seen one of these wide receivers right there, left part of your screen, number 8, holding on to the jersey. And that's another good acting job there by Lloyd Hightower. He didn't really make an effort to get out of that hole. Just waved a hand there, and they had him. But a hold is a hold, and they caught Emmanuel Thompson with a hold.
Third penalty of the night against Troy for 30 yards. Put in the belly of Chun. And he's going to get that first down up to the 45-yard line. And a 7-yard run for Mega Chun.
I think they're going to have to keep giving the ball to Mega Chun. I mean, he's just like we talk about Linehan on the side of the ball for Idaho. For Troy, it's been Jordan Chung.
First down Trojans from their 45. More Chun running right, cuts across midfield to the 48-yard line of the Vandals. Leonard Hayeswood able to bring him down, but a 7-yard gain there for Chun.
In one cut. You know, that's what you're not used to seeing, a guy that weighs 235 pounds. Watch this. He's going east-west, and then one cut, get upfield, pick up 7 yards.
Now coming to the near side. Here's the speed of Henderson down the sideline. A stiff arm right in the face mask of Christian Ellis. But a 25-yard run for Jamarius Henderson. Christian Ellis pushed him out of bounds, but his brother Kate missed a tackle prior to that.
And you'll see him find the cut with a little wiggle to the outside. Caden Ellis missed a tackle, and his brother Christian was there. And that's right there. How did they describe Henderson with his running style?
He runs violently.
Yeah, that stiff arm, that's a violent stiff arm he gave that young freshman.
You know, you can get a face mask call if you're running on offense, but you rarely see that. Here's running the other way, McCormick. Tavarius McCormick inside the 15. He runs for 8.
Like the play design. Get the ball to McCormick in space off a little pitch. McCormick's the fastest wide receiver they've gotten. I think he's due to have a breakout game. If he's not catching the ball, I like the idea of getting the ball creatively with a pitch on the perimeter.
2nd and 2. Throws towards the end zone and wide open. McCormick touchdown. 14-yard TD. First touchdown catch of the season for the senior from Biloxi, Mississippi. McCormick.
Well, they set him up. That's that little sucker play. They hurry to the line of scrimmage. You think it's going to be another wide receiver screen, and you had two
guys wide open.
Wide open.
That was Letton, who it could have been either one of them. And quick 7-play, 66-yard drive. And Sumter's point after out of the hold of Barker is up and through. And Troy got the field goal on the last possession of the first half to take the lead, and a quick touchdown to start the second half, and they're up 10. Ken Edenfield, the offensive coordinator for the Trojans. His offense, 7-play, 66-yard drive. And he had not one but 2 guys wide open on this touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to take a look. You're going to see a total of 3 defenders come over. And I want you to look. Which one of these guys knows that it's a fake? All 3 of them cross the line of scrimmage. 2 open wide receivers. They set them up for the sucker pass. And they found not 1, not 2, but 3 suckers on defense not looking at the football.
Duckworth is going to let that bounce into the end zone for a touchback. College football on ABC Saturday. We'll have number 4 Clemson and number 20 NC State, 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific, and then at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. 13th ranked Virginia Tech. They take on undefeated and number 10 Miami. You can watch both games streaming live on the ESPN app.
Right now, if you're Paul Petrino, your team was up 7-0. You're giving up 17 points. Game starting to get away from you. I'm going back to what I did in that first quarter. We're going to win this football game by throwing the football with Matt Linehan.
And Linehan sets up, dumps it off. Duckworth for about 6 up to the 31, upended by Sam Levy.
And the challenge becomes, can they protect him? So I think if you do some misdirection or some play action passes or some screen passes, that's how you buy a little bit of extra protection for your quarterback in the pocket.
Pretty quiet first half for Aaron Duckworth, primary runner for the Vandals, who gets the carry here, and it'll be stopped about 1.5 yards, 2 yards short of the first down by Tron Folsom, linebacker.
And you mentioned it's quiet for Duckworth. Well, that's by design. Schematically, you know, what Troy does is they're one of the top rushing defenses in the country. They only allow 109 yards per game on the ground. That's really good at stopping the run.
And they've only allowed 5 rushing touchdowns all season. Linehan, far side, tumbling catch by Jacob Sannon. And it is a first down for the Vandals after a gain of 4.
And that's what you're going to have to do, just some play action to get some time. And you almost get the feeling that Chris Sinkovich, the offensive coordinator for Idaho, realizes his limitations in pass protection, so he's kind of shortened the playbook, knowing that Linehan was taking some hits, kind of going to the short to intermediate passing game, not that downfield vertical passing game that they did so well to start off.
Here's Duckworth. He squirts through a hole, and that's a first down run. 11 yards all the way to the 48. Sam Levy and Cedarius Brookert bring him down.
Every now and then you find these linebackers from Troy, they'll guess, and two of them go to the A gap. They leave the outside gap open, and great recognition by Duckworth, making them pay.
Duckworth maybe a little bit banged up. Into that 11-yard run, first down from just shy of midfield.
Double move, got him.
And going, has him open over the shoulder.
Wow.
On Anwar. Unable to come up with that, but as you mentioned, Jay, they had him open.
It was one where you didn't have to make a perfect pass. I mean, he ran a very great route on him. You're going to see him at the top of your screen. Watch this. He's going to come, give you a little stutter, then get back to the outside. Right here, gave him a little stutter. That's hook, line, and sinker. Just put the ball right on him. Leads him to our upfield. Missed opportunity for one of those explosive plays that we talked about the Vandals would need to have.
Linehan had to handle a snap that was a little to his right. Throws to Sanadu, bounces off one tackler, a second one, and then finally brought down inside the 40 for a Vandals first down. Tron Folsom was the third one that eventually was able to knock him down, a 13-yard gain.
And we've seen Sanadu do this a couple times. He has great balance. He runs nice routes for this team, but watch him absorb the contact and the blow, keep his wherewithals around him, and keep the legs going to pick up a first down.
Duckworth back in, first down run between the tackles to the 36 for 3 yards. "17 unanswered points for Troy in this game, and Idaho trying to snap that string here. They have a second down. Call it 7. Here's the pass, caught and then dropped by Anwar. Had it for a moment, and they got knocked out by Cameron Melton.
Hard hit there. Sometimes with strong arm quarterbacks, they just try and throw the ball in the smallest crease there. And this is another ball we knew that the wide receiver was going to take a shot. Able to get the ball in there. Ball should be caught, but that's a tight window, particularly with number 3, Chris Witherspoon, coming over to lay the boom.
That's Petrino in motion, Mason Petrino. Here comes the blitz, stepping up and running. Linehan upended at the 33 by Tyquay Russell. 3-yard gain. We saw probably the best run of the year earlier in the first half from Linehan, but that time got tripped up short of the line.
And 4 down territory here. You're on the road, down by 10. You know you're out of field goal range. I agree with the call here that you go for it. With the senior quarterback, tell him you need to pick up 4 yards right now. Watch the crossing route.
And Unger at the top of the screen, looking in his direction across the middle, but now Linehan just throws it up and incomplete. I thought the adjustment being made by Santa was going to give him a chance to catch that ball near the marker, but it went untouched and they turned it over on downs.
ESPN Thursday Night College Football, brought to you by Allstate, official protector of college football fans.
Pleasant night here in Troy, Alabama. The temperature today got up near 80 degrees. You see the guys in shorts, short sleeve shirts. Much different than the game they had here on Saturday, which was cool, if not cold, for the folks that live in this part of the country, and rain.
very impressed with this Troy campus as well, too.
Beautiful place.
New construction, like the fountain of the Trojan, and they're doing something special down here in this part of Alabama.
Troy takes over on downs. They're on 33-yard line. They've scored 17 unanswered points in this game. Davis motions into the backfield. Fake the handoff to Chun. Here goes the pass to Davis. Makes a move at the 35. Another one at the 40, and then gets slung down there by Caden Ellis. Actually, Ellis able to clean up after Hoover and completely faked out.
And Jalen Hoover, the freshman safety, number 25 from Mississippi, not able to make the tackle in the open space. That's a big-time move by Davis.
And here's Chun with the carry of first down, and that's a gain of 5. That's going to put him over 100 yards for the night, 103. So his third 100-yard-plus game of the season, his first since he had that 191-yard rushing game at LSU. 9th in his career. I'm kind of surprised he hasn't had more than that. 3 of the 9, though, have come against Idaho now.
Well, you know, the key is they like to throw the football, so he's in a pass-happy attack. And second, they keep a number of running backs.
You with the Chun here running left tackle, makes the cut up to the 48 for a gain of about 4. And this time Jalen Hoover does make the tackle. You see an NFL future for Jordan Chun?
I mean, absolutely. I mean, you just don't find guys that have the ability to cut on a dime like that with his size. 235 pounds, and I think all you have to do is put on the footage of the LSU game, and that might have been a day in which he made him a little money.
Well, Tristan Crowder starting right guard for Troy. He is down.
I think for Troy, they don't have a lot of experience. They have 3 sophomores that start on that offensive line. Rousey, the left tackle, is the best one. He's a senior, but he was a left guard last year, so they've had to kind of shuffle the line. Didn't know what they were going to get this year. Not necessarily a deep group on that offensive line for Troy.
As you mentioned, they moved Rousey from left guard to left tackle this year. Crowder playing right guard. Let's see if we can see what happened here.
So you'll take a look, and this will be his helmet right there. Let's see if we can follow throughout the plays. He's coming over on a reach, and
cut up right by his own guy. Took some friendly fire there.
It looked like that was Kirk Kelly, the left guard.
Crowder's 6'4", 315 pounds. Good to see him get up. A little hitch in that giddy up as he's jogging off. That should bring in Ethan Calhoun, his backup, into the game. He's a junior transfer from Kansas State. Over 300 total yards now for Troy tonight. Here's the option. Silver's keeping, but that was Lashley, who just got enough of the ankle to trip him up for just a 1-yard gain.
I don't know. Did he trip or did I think looked like Silver just kind of went down a little bit, got a little confused. Let's take a look. You say it was a trip. He's making the move to go up. All right, just enough. But yeah, that
he
could
didn't
have
get
been
a lot.
Wouldn't have brought down a running back, is what you're saying, but it brings down a quarterback.
I think that's what you're saying. With a 3rd down and 6. And Josh Anderson in as the lone tailback, 4 receivers. Silver's going to hand it off, and Anderson got a pretty good head of steam, and he gets to midfield and only picks up a couple. DJ Henderson, big number 2 for Idaho with the tackle. And it's 4th down. Kept it on the ground on 3rd down and what about 7?
Yeah, a little bit surprising, but I mean, let's think about it. They've had success running the football. That's been the key to them scoring these 17 unanswered points. It's been the ground game, and went to it around midfield, and worst case scenario, you punt the ball, hope your special teams can make a play, and you can pin your opponent deep.
Well, Troy had run the ball on third down 5 times now. 4 of those have been first downs until that one.
Shank the kick.
Yeah, and it's going to go out of bounds just inside the 30-yard line. So pretty good starting field position for Idaho when we come back after just a 20-yard punt. $17 unanswered points for Troy in this game, Jane. A lot of it's been through the success of the running game.
Yeah, getting Jordan Chun involved in the offense, finally playing at close to 100%. You see what a difference maker he can be in this football game and for this football team. Able to do his bruising style in between the tackles, showing some speed. Then they had Jamarius Henderson come in and give him a burst as well. And it was really the rushing attack that established control of this football game for the Trojans.
182 rush yards for the Trojans. 106 of those have come from Chun. Idaho ball from their own 30. Low snap picked up by Linehan, who still has time to throw, and taking a deep shot, double covered and incomplete. Luello was the intended receiver. And a flag down at the 40 of Troy. See any kind of hold in that neighborhood?
When he was throwing, yeah, pass interference, like the safety defensive back seemed to cut off his angle.
Pass interference. Defense, number 8. 15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic. First down.
It's on the true freshman cornerback Marcus Jones.
And that's something we haven't seen them do in a while, actually trying to go for the deep throw down the field. And you see right in the center of your screen, they've got him pretty well bracketed, but Marcus Jones kept trying to turn him around a little bit, and the official saw that.
Linehan having to step up again, take off, and hit right at midfield. Stood up there and then swarmed under by Tron Folsom and Hunter Reese. There's a run of 5 yards for Linehan.
Once again, we're starting to see Idaho struggling to protect their quarterback. Linehan's not a guy that likes to run a lot, but in this game, he's run more than usual, and that's because they flushed him out of the pocket as the offensive line is struggling for the Vandals.
Duckworth. We're about 2 to the 48. Again, Tron Folsom, linebacker's been busy tonight for Troy.
I almost start to wonder, is this once again 4-down territory for
It's
Idaho?
close if it's not. A manageable 3rd down and 2. Of course, punting's been a pretty big problem tonight. But they have changed long snappers. And moot point, 1st down throw to Onenwar. That's his 6th catch of the night.
And that's a little bit more of what I expected to see from Troy. Fake the run, quick throw from Silver's out there, but now Idaho hit them with a dose of their own medicine when they really need to get that 1st down for a 3rd down conversion. But I still think, see, Troy's okay letting you throw the stuff in front of you, coming up, making a tackle. Idaho gave them trouble when they threw the ball downfield, but it all starts with that offensive line if they can protect their quarterback.
Empty backfield. It was Muwala that had lined up in the backfield. Linehan pressured and sacked back at the 48 by Hunter Reese.
I mean, take a look here. Watch, this is going to be the rusher right here. This is what you call an Olay block. Talk about getting flushed out of the pocket. You got no chance. I mean, that's just an absolute whiff by the guard. Maxim Moore, the true freshman, head down, missed it. And what do? I mean, you can't call plays. It was a simple 5-man rush, man-to-man blocking scheme, and Maxim Moore, the true freshman, missed his man.
2nd sack for the Troy defense tonight. That's 29 allowed by Idaho this season. The pass goes out to Ungerer. It's immediately wrapped up by Jalen Harris. It goes for 7 yards to the 41. getting some of that yardage back they lost on the sack, but it's going to be 3rd and long.
And once again, you're just so limited when you're struggling to protect your quarterback, forced to rely on the quick passing game.
I should say 3rd and 9. But Jay, if they can trim this to a, maybe a 4th and 2 or 3, I think it is 4-down territory.
4-down territory. I agree with you 100%, Mark Neely.
Going to give it to Duckworth, trying to weave through traffic to the sideline, turns upfield, and it is going to be about a 4th and 2 or 3 that we just talked about. Blaise Brown with the tackle there.
That's why they called that play there, too. Thinking like you were thinking, if we pick up 4 or 5 yards, we're going to go for it on 4th down. But take a look at this reach block by the center. The cut on the inside blitzing linebacker. Hunter Reese goes flying. Good job of Duckworth bouncing to the outside, which is what he does well.
Another 1 for 2 on 4th down tonight, the Vandals, but they turned it over on downs right about this spot on the field on their last possession. Motion Petrino. Linehan throwing too high for Petrino and incomplete. And they turn it over on downs for a 2nd straight possession. A frustrated Linehan. Just 25 seconds left in this 3rd quarter.
The College Football Playoff Top 25 Ranking Show. Tuesday at 7 on ESPN. Presented by Goodyear.
25 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Idaho got out of the chute quickly, led early 7-0, but 17 unanswered from Troy. And after the hot start, it's been a frustrating 2nd and 3rd quarters for Matt Linehan, the quarterback for Idaho.
He's been getting hit a lot. And as a quarterback, you take so many blows, but then you start to feel the pressure. And I think that's what happened on that last 4th down. Got a little bit gun shy and inaccurate throw led to a turnover on downs.
Swung out to Henderson. That is an incomplete forward pass. Henderson juggled a couple of times before it hit the turf.
Just to make sure it was a forward pass. Good job of pulling him towards the line of scrimmage. Very accurately thrown ball by Brandon Silvers. Henderson just not able to hold on.
Looked like Henderson was already peeking upfield before he had that ball completely in his grasp. Here's the jet sweep to Douglas. Upfield, a cut. And he was maybe 1 broken tackle away from busting that. There is a flag down, though. Jordan Grabsky was able to grab just enough for Douglas to stop him.
Probably going to be another holding on the receiver, wide receiver outside again.
Holding. Offense. Number 6. 10 yards from the previous or spot of the foul. Replay. 2nd down.
That's at least the 3rd time tonight I can remember a wide receiver on the edge getting called for a hold.
Yeah, they're taking turns. That's number 6, Sidney Davis. I mean, he's got him. I mean, come on. They're calling it real tight on the outside. What do you do when the defensive back is turning his back to you, spinning around? But that's a tough break right there. But they have been consistent, calling it tight on the perimeter.
Well, they've never lost under Neil Brown when leading after 3 quarters. And Troy is up by 10 at the end of 3 tonight. Well, here on the Troy campus, they have 200 life-size terracotta warriors statues that are from China. Over 100 were donated by renowned Chinese sculptor Dr. Hu Bo Zhu. They kind of seem a little out of place in Alabama, but they are unique. Interesting. It's a neat campus here in Troy, Alabama. Here's a pass to Chun. Barrels his way to the 32-yard line. You mentioned earlier how much of a weapon he is in that part of the game. That's his 21st catch of the season.
He's been a warrior. But one thing I think people probably don't know about Troy is they call themselves Alabama's International University. So before the game, they talked about the 1,000 international students that they have, over 75 countries, I believe. And here's something you probably didn't know. Troy University has a campus in Virginia.
I did not know that.
Well,
can you tell me where in Virginia?
Arlington.
So it's right by D.C. and you're neck of the woods.
Yes, it is.
Here's a pass across. A stiff arm is staying on his feet. Willis. But then he is swarmed under at the 35 with Cedric Thomas, Christian Ellis, and others.
This is pretty good defense, Mark. You know why? When guys are doing crossing routes, you got to bump it, right? So you're going to see him come across the formation. Watch how many guys make contact with him. They don't give him a clean ride. Linebacker sees him, give him a little chuck. Here comes another guy there, give him a little chuck. Okay, here comes the help. Make the tackle behind the line of scrimmage. That's what you have to do when those guys are running across the formation.
Well, an important stop for the Idaho defense. They look to get the ball back. There's still plenty of time left here in the fourth quarter. And they ran into the punter. A flag is down near the line of scrimmage, not back where the punter. Sumter got rid of that. It was a 45-yard punt. And there is a player down for Idaho. Jalen Hoover back near the side of the Sumter punt. Referee Kevin Stein.
During the kick, personal foul, face mask, defense. Half the distance to the goal from the end of the kick. First down.
So it did come after the kick. They do keep possession of the football. Well, fresh off their remarkable comeback win over Penn State, J.T. Barrett and the 6th-ranked Ohio State Buckeyes battle Iowa from Kinnick Stadium in Iowa City. Coming up Saturday, 3:30 Eastern on ESPN, and also available on the ESPN app. Now, because of the penalty, Paul Petrino's Vandals are going to have to start this drive from their own 10-yard line. Actually, call it the 9. Linehan pressured. He's going to use his feet again. Come to the near side, angle, and then take a hard hit at the 13 by Lloyd Hightower. Actually, Sam Levy's the one who leveled the hit.
Sounded like a broken record, though. They cannot protect the quarterback. Irving Schuster, number 67, in the starting rotation because Jordan Rose is not available, and he just got beat off the snap, forcing Linehan to run.
Here's a run straight ahead for Isaiah Saunders for 4 yards. Ron Folsom's been busy tonight, man. Weak side linebacker.
And this is a tough play call right here. You'd like to think it's 3rd and short. You have the whole playbook at your disposal, but the lack of protection that you have, and you see Troy bringing their cornerbacks up, saying if we can just jam them a little bit, we can get to the quarterback.
He is going to run it and pick up the first down. Saunders to the 22-yard line. So he gains 4, wrapped up by Cedarius Rookard. But an important first down for Idaho to keep the drive going.
Yeah, real risky play call. If you go for the run in that situation and they stuff you, that's tough. But I like the play selection by Chris Sinkovich, realizing the situation and kind of for the second time in this game in a 3rd down situation, catching this Troy defense, expecting the pass, and able to slip a run in there for the first down.
Troy brings 4. Time for Linehan to throw downfield, and a catch is made by Caden Ellis, who's tackled inside the 35 of Troy by Melvin Tyus. Well, there is Caden Ellis for the 44-yard pickup.
Yeah, just got great ball skills. Ball's in the air, 50-50 ball. He's just a good athlete, runs down the seam, gets behind the would-be defender, concentrates down, saving tackle by Melvin Tyus. He's a football player. You almost think probably worth some money if he goes to that tight end position full time.
He stays in there. A tight end on the right side of the formation. First down. Play fake, but Linehan is sacked. Back at the 42-yard line. Marcus Webb and Callaway also there, but Marcus Webb the first to get to Linehan.
It's just a matter. They bring the tight end here, so they're going to give you some help. That's a good job by Ellis getting his guy, but right over there they slide down to the right tackle, and you see, I mean, that's just, I don't know how much poorly you can block somebody. One-on-one, Marcus Webb, number 48, just beat the right tackle, and it was not a pretty thing.
Callaway brings down Duckworth at the 36 for 4 yards. Going to bring up a third down and long 2.
In defense of Idaho, we picked on their line a lot, just like the Trojans have, but they lost 5 of their 7 top linemen from a season ago. So there's not a lot of experience on this line, and then with Jordan Rose being out, this is an offensive line that going into the season you knew would be a liability, and Troy is taking advantage of it here tonight.
Third down and 12, that is. Line to gain is the 24. Linehan, protection breaking down, has time to throw right near the marker. Catch is made at the 23, and it should be enough for the first down for Jacob Sannon.
Yeah, 3-man rush. So you think as a quarterback you have time with only 3. They bring the 4th guy. Somebody's starting to break through. That was Trevon Sanders. Linehan slides in the pocket, throws a dart down the field. That's good quarterback play by the senior, Matt Linehan.
So Idaho with a first down from the 23-yard line. Linehan going to take a shot for the end zone. And in the back corner, catch is made, a flag down. And no call, but they are now, they do say touchdown for Onenwar. Well, both officials kind of looked at one another, Jay, and I think they're like, well, let's call it a touchdown and let the replay guys sort it out. And they got the penalty flag anyway.
Yeah, this is a perfectly placed ball. Outside shoulder, not a lot of room.
Did that left foot, did that stay in?
Interference. Defense, number 8. That penalty is declined. Result of the play. Touchdown.
I think because of what you said, they signaled it a touchdown. It'd be very tough to overturn this grab. Great job going up and making the catch.
That angle's not going to overturn it. But this one is close. Watch the left foot come down.
Close.
That back heel, did it touch the line?
I don't know.
It's there's not evidence enough conclusive to overturn the call.
That's what I say. I mean, I don't know. I'm a pretty opinionated guy, but I don't see anything that tells you that he definitely did touch the line.
Well, Onenwar had 5 catches in the first quarter for 60 yards and had been relatively quiet since then. Just his 2nd catch since the first quarter. But watch the left foot and the left heel where it comes down.
That's close, but are you 100% sure? The side judge, I mean, look at the side judge right here.
He's got the best look.
He's got a great view at it, and he gave him a touchdown. I don't think you overturn what he saw. I don't know if technology shows us enough that he definitely was out of bounds. Now, if you're a Troy fan, you say, oh, you can see the foot was on the line. but if you're for Idaho, you say, can't really tell. He probably was in. So,
well, a replay official, John Lane, I will be surprised if anything comes down different than the call on the field stands.
It all started getting back to that explosive play with the offense that they needed. Caden Ellis with the big grab and follow it up with this one. You make the call. Was he in or out?
Yeah, I think he might be in anyway. But it's going to be really hard to tell, and there's nothing on the video to overturn the call on the field.
And that's just what I say. I don't think there's enough where you could say he was definitely out of bounds or definitely in bounds.
After further review, the rolling on the field stands. Touchdown.
So it's an 8-play, 90-yard drive. Remember the penalty on the punt pushed it back all the way to their own 10. And hey, don't look now, Jay, but Idaho's right in this game with 8:55 to go.
They protect the quarterback. They have the ability to hit you with explosive plays, and throwing the ball downfield with a downfield passer like Linehan has got the Vandals back in this contest.
Coffey's extra point up and good, and it is a 3-point game. Was that left foot in? Was it not? It was close enough, and it's a touchdown for Anwar, and it's 17-14. Just under 9 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. 3-point game between Idaho and Troy. Last time these teams met here in Troy, Alabama, October 17, 2015. Came down to a field goal. Jed Solomon 32-yard attempt is no good for Troy. Austin Rico went 4 for 5 in field goal attempts for Idaho, and it was the Vandals that won 19-16. But tonight, Coach Petrino's team has missed a 40-yard field goal. Troy has hit a 40-yard field goal. That's been the difference. You see all the close games that Idaho has played, especially in conference this year. And the touchback's going to bring it out to the 25 for the Trojans.
And this is that time of year where you want to know if your coaching philosophy is really kicked in and taken effect with your football program. They've been in a number of close games that you've seen. Won 2 of them, lost 2 of them, and right now they find themselves on the road in a position to possibly win this football game. It's a one-possession game, and I think that's what you want from your team when you're going on a difficult road trip coming from Idaho all the way down here to Troy, Alabama.
How about that? Total yards. About as close as it can get. Silver's numbers. He has turned the ball over twice. The interception and also a fumble. There's a run coming near side and fighting. Anderson eventually slung down by Hayeswood.
That Hayeswood, he's just a football player.
He is, man. He's been everywhere tonight.
And the senior from Sacramento, California. I saw him on kickoff return as well. And that hybrid 6'4", 250-pound linebacker / DN.
Just wants to play because he missed all of last season with injury. And then 2 years ago in 2015, he redshirted. Making the most of the opportunity in his senior year. Sean motioned out of the backfield, and he gets a second catch of the night, turns upfield and stumbles up to about the 30. And a big 3rd down and 5 coming up.
Idaho got lucky. They brought the blitz, and they actually went to the right person with the football, but Chun lost his footing. That could have been a big play. Normally when a team blitzes and the offense recognizes it, they won't bring that blitz again. Be curious to see what defensive coordinator Mike Bresky dials up for the Vandals defensively.
Troy has converted 6 of 10 third downs tonight. They've done well in that department. Again, they motion out Chun, and here's a pass across the middle. And the first down catch is made all the way up to the 43-yard line for McCormick.
I mean, and this is what Silvers does. Watch this quick release from Silvers. Once he recognized 1,000, 1,002, that ball's out of there. Quick release, accurate throw. Pretty tough to defend if you're a defensive back.
McCormick, who has a 14-yard touchdown catch tonight, keeps the drive going for the Trojans. Running right, Anderson. A flag comes flying at the 45. That's going to go against Troy. Looks like a hold.
Another wide receiver hold, I believe.
Holding. Offense. Number 11. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Replay. First down.
Well, that one's on McCormick, so that's at least 4 on the wide receivers tonight.
Yeah, you see the inside receiver on the slot just go up and just grab him by the waist side. Spin him around. Easy call for the official to make.
Tell you what, the line judge had to throw that flag about 20 yards from the sideline, and it was a pretty accurate one to the spot of the foul. But the clock running, under 7 minutes to go. And it backs him up behind the chains to a 1st and 17. Ocean Anderson out. Silvers, deep shot. His man's got a couple of steps, and it's pulled in by Willis all the way down inside the 20. He got a step or so on Hightower in a 47-yard gain.
And it's a good job of putting some air underneath the throw and allowing the receiver to run underneath it. Gets a step, balls in the air, and watch Willis just run underneath it, focus, concentrate for the big play.
Well, Tony Lashley hits Josh Anderson in the backfield for a loss. And right now, if you're Idaho, Jay, you got to at least hold them to a field goal attempt here, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. And get a little bit more aggressive with your play selection on defense. I think you have to gamble a little bit, call some of your run-stopping blitzes. Try and get a sack and take them out of field goal range if you can as well.
Now, last pass play for Troy, their third explosive pass play of the night. Now, 3 receivers up top. Quick look in that direction. Now fires, though. John Johnson makes the catch. Johnson's a guy that early in the game last week against Georgia Southern threw a touchdown pass of 40 yards to Eford.
And now one thing I would do a little different for Idaho on defense, Caden Ellis is playing this linebacker position. They've got him in coverage. I get him on that line of scrimmage in a 3-point stance. Ellis is here right around the hash mark. I'd bring him in and get him involved in the pass rush or the run stop defense.
And he's in coverage again. Here's Silvers chased and incomplete at the 5. Diving attempt made by Johnson once again.
So they forced a field goal attempt.
Yeah.
Well, bend but don't break defensive philosophy.
Tyler Sumter has hit a career-long 40-yarder tonight. He will try this one. It's off the right hash, officially 29 yards. And that one splits the uprights, and it's a 6-point game. But there is a flag. Hang on.
This could be big.
Tevin Duke, the true freshman DB, ran into the kicker, and it was 4th and 5. So this could give them a first down. Oh man, this is.
Do you take the points off the board? Yes,
absolutely.
if it's enough for the first down, now we said it was about 5. Could be close to 5.5, but
I think that's what Coach Brown's asking. Hey, is this enough
running
for the first
into
down?
The kicker on the defense, that's a 5-yard penalty. Replay, 4th down.
Well, apparently it's going to be just short.
Woo-wee.
So it's 4th, and I can't even tell the distance they're going to change over there. Maybe the length of the football.
Yeah, they're going to take the points off the board.
Quickly to the line. And I think Idaho got a timeout call.
That was Troy called the timeout.
Troy did, okay. Well, 4th and about the length of the football for Troy, who've taken the points off the board. Troy took the Sumter field goal off the board. What was a 6-point lead back to 3, and there's the distance. That's probably not even the length of the football on 4th down. I don't think we disagree at all with Neil Brown's decision here. They have Chun in the backfield. Silvers. Whoa. The quarterback sneak. He didn't need to get much.
Didn't need to get much.
And I think he didn't get much, but it was enough. And it is a first down.
Close one, really on that second effort. Right, you figure right there he's got it, and then able to give a little bit more lean. But part of the reason I think you took the points off the board, even up by 6 points, with a hot quarterback on the other team.
You can't take that chance, can you?
Can't take that chance. If you can go up by 10 or take some more clock, that's what you want to try and do.
So first and goal. Give it to Chun, and he just gallops into the end zone easily. Touchdown. 7-yard run for Jordan Chun. That one may be the backbreaker.
So the move pays off. Just nobody expecting the run up the middle. Don't know how that happened. Just linebackers out of position. Good job of holding and sustaining the blocks by the offensive line, and pretty easy touchdown for Jordan Chun.
So Sumter now with the extra point. And it is back to a 10-point lead for the Trojans with 4:12 to go. They took the points off the board. It paid off as Chun finds the end zone. 24-14, Troy. Coach Brown's Trojans don't play App State this year, but they're trying to go to 4-1 in conference play with a win here tonight. They're up by 10. Now for tonight's What to Watch For, brought to you by Taco Bell. Here's the Saturday slate of ranked teams on ESPN, and what sticks out for you, Jay?
Oh, well, you and I, we both talked. Everybody's intrigued by Iowa State, aren't they? Iowa State and West Virginia. And, you know, I like some quarterback play, so I think that West Coast matchup, Pac-12, Arizona, Sam Darnold. You like the running quarterback, that's Mr. Excitement in college, for Tate, or you like the traditional passer in Darnold for USC?
Darnold has not had the season that many had expected to this point. Here's Duckworth. Kicks it out. He stopped shy of the 20. Well, Linehan, 19 for 29 tonight with 2 touchdowns. A lot on his plate with his team down 10, though, with just 4:06 to go.
There's still an opportunity here. Throw the ball, get the offense going, try and score quickly, and then maybe give your special teams an opportunity to come up with an onside kick.
Idaho does have all 3 of their timeouts. But right now, 81 yards between them and the end zone. They did have a 90-yard drive earlier in the second half. Linehan has time to find at the 31-yard line. It's David Ungerer for a first down up near the 35. 16-yard gain, tackled by Blaise Brown.
And I like this move. Bring Caden Ellis in to the football game right now. He's shown he can be an explosive player on offense for you. As he comes in at the bottom of your screen in the slot, try and get him matched up one-on-one versus a linebacker.
Linehan slips sliding around but stays on his feet and finds the receiver at the 40-yard line. That's Duckworth out of the backfield up to the 42, wrapped up by Tron Folsom. Last drive for the Vandals, their last possession was that 90-yard drive. They're trying to pull another long one out here to cut this deficit. It's a 2-score game right now. Time for Linehan, and he fires, and
wow.
Onwar came down with it, but out of bounds, incomplete. And he got a lick from Brown and Rookert, who were there.
Onwar's a tough kid. I mean, Linehan's going to try and stick that ball in a crease every chance he can, and see the feet just come out of bounds. Onwar making up for that drop ball he had earlier when he took the big hit.
Had he not been hit, he was going to come down inbounds.
Yes, he was.
So it's 3rd down and 2 with under 3 minutes. Fake the handoff to Duckworth, and a catch and a first down for Onwar to the 48, a Troy, a Blaise Brown tackle.
Still need to have a little bit more of a sense of urgency offensively, getting these plays called a little bit quicker. You have to keep an eye on the clock if you're Idaho.
Duckworth somehow threads his way across the 40 to the 39-yard line. Witherspoon with the tackle. Somebody had him by the shirt tail for a moment but couldn't get him down. Duckworth needs a breather. He goes to the sideline. The clock continuing to run, though.
Yeah, you've got 3 timeouts. That's why I'm going to keep an eye on that clock at the same time and have a little bit more of a sense of urgency. And they do have Caden Ellison playing tight end again.
Linehan going to take off again. He'll have the first down and pushed down inside the 30 by Tron Folsom. It is an 11-yard run for the quarterback. Clock stops to move the chains. At least it should have, but I don't think it did. It's continuing to run.
Oh, yeah, that's not right.
Yeah, it should have
When you
stopped.
get a first down, the clock should stop. And we've seen at least 15 seconds run off that should not have.
Linehan pressured, and now he's going to be sacked back at the 38.
Get a timeout right now if you're Idaho.
It's Trayvon Sanders with his 3rd sack of the season. Well, just a minute 32 to go. So a timeout will step aside as well. Here's a look at the Sun Belt standings. Arkansas State, App State still unbeaten in conference play, but Troy with a win here tonight will be 4-1. Idaho trying to rally and pick up conference win number 3.
But it's that 6 that's so important around here. 6 victories makes the Trojans bowl eligible already, while the others are trying to get to that plateau.
I'm gone, buddy.
2 timeouts left for Idaho. They're down 10. Just over a minute and a half to go. They bring 4. Linehan able to escape, fire, and find the open man at the 22. Onenwar, who's tackled at the 21, short of the first down by Marcus Jones. Clock will continue to run.
A nice open field tackle. And even when Idaho goes to max protection, keeping the tight end in to block, they still have trouble protecting their quarterback.
9 catches for 111 yards tonight for Onenwar. And here's the first down. It's streaking inside the 10. It'll be 1st and goal after the run by Saunders.
See, so they've set the ball so quickly, so that's why they.
Now the flags come flying.
Not much clock is going off.
Did you see the clock stop at all again?
Yeah, stop for about 3 seconds, but it's a quick set by the official.
Well, you're at a point, Idaho, with 2 timeouts. If you're able to find the end zone, you're going to have to onside kick anyway. So you may as well use the timeouts now on offense if you need them.
Yeah, well, I think what you do is, I think you throw towards the end zone. All these next plays you call, regardless of what happens with the penalty, you make your throws towards the end zone to hurry up and try and get in. And that way, if you do recover an onside kick, that you got a timeout that you can keep.
You use the middle of the field, at least have 1 left.
Substitution infraction on the defense. 12th man did not get off the field prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty, half the distance to the goal. Still first down.
I mean, this is something you don't see too often, but yeah, they're all over the place. And that's the thing. I think they set the ball so quick, the officials, they didn't stand over it, that there really wasn't a chance for the Troy defenders to get off the field.
Tenth play of the drive.
Gotta get rid of it.
You gotta get rid of it as he's falling down, and it's picked off. Nothing but green for Marcus Jones, who's going to end this one with an exclamation point. ...97-yard interception return for Marcus Jones.
Was the knee down? I think they're going to have to take a look at this, and it's a scoring play and a turnover, so they'll take a look. That would be the only chance that Idaho would have is the knee down. He's trying to get rid of it.
Oh, he's down.
That knee's down.
All right, now here's the situation. There should certainly be enough to overturn this and it come back. But there is less than a minute left.
Of an interception and a return for a TD is under further review.
But Idaho could use a timeout to avoid the 10-second runoff here.
Yes. I mean, I think that's what they would do. And he recognizes too late that he cannot afford to take a sack. And trying to make a play, but that left knee is down. Ball's clearly in his grasp. And I believe this is coming back.
Yeah, it should. Were it to stand, would this stand, it would be the first interception in his last 206 attempts. But it should come back. And Idaho should be able to use a timeout to avoid the 10-second runoff since we're inside the final minute here.
Now, with the runoff occur because not a penalty, just an interception.
But a stoppage in play would cause them to have to restart the clock, or they could use the timeout to avoid the runoff.
After further review, the quarterback's knee was down, so he's down at the 13-yard line. There'll be 2nd and goal from the 13-yard line. Please reset the game clock to 47 seconds. The clock will start on the ready for play.
One final look at it there, and they got it right. Clearly that left knee was down.
That's the 5th sack of the night for the Troy defense.
They've got the backup quarterback is in. Linehan's on the sideline. Is that Mason Petrino I see now?
So they don't have to use the timeout for the runoff apparently, but the clock does restart. Petrino rolling out. Doesn't have anybody open and he's just going to throw it away. But then he got hit late. And a flag is out.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. With targeting. Defense number 94. Half the distance to go from the previous spot. Automatic. First down. Previous play is under further review.
Wow, on defensive end Seth Callaway, the targeting, which if it stands would take him out of the first half next week's game.
That's a penalty.
Yeah, it's a penalty.
I mean, he's getting rid of the ball.
He's a defenseless player.
It's clear when you don't see what you hit and you lower your head, they're going to call it. And that's the way it's been all season long, and there's been an increase in the number of penalties called for targeting. It's all about player safety. You know, that last little dip that everybody used to try to do to have a little bit more impact on the hit. Well, when you do that now, they can eject you from the football game.
Well,
the ball's gone. I mean, he's got time to stop if he wants to. But he gives him the push and he lowers the helmet. And it's just, you know, look, from this angle, you can see right there. He could have stopped, and he lowered that helmet.
And he's just throwing it away.
Yeah. Well, and you have to know, I mean, the gauntlet's been drawn, thrown to the ground. If you take those type of hits, you will get penalized and possibly ejected. And the feelings on that is, I mean, I always say this, the game of football is a physical enough game, violent enough game.
After further review, the rolling on the field is confirmed. Number 94 is disqualified.
And so I think what they're doing is saying with the game being the way it is, with players bigger, faster, stronger now, there's no room in it for cheap shots or unnecessary roughness or violence.
So that's going to cost Callaway the first half of their game next week in Coastal Carolina as well. Right now, Idaho's just trying to find the end zone. Still have 2 timeouts remaining. 34 seconds left. Still no Linehan. It's Petrino again out there as the quarterback.
Try a jump ball, bottom of your screen. One-on-one with Onenwar. Just load up for grabs for him. See if he can make another big play for you.
Petrino in trouble already, and he's sacked back at the 14 by Kelvin Lucky, and they'll have to use one of those timeouts. A loss of 6.
Yep.
And another flag. Wow, this has really gotten ugly from a standpoint of penalties here.
And what happens, instead of Idaho having to use a timeout, well, that is going to be a penalty on the defense. Stop the clock.
Following the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Defense, number 91. Goal, automatic. First down. That is number 91's first unsportsmanlike foul.
Well, right now, Jay, Troy's trying to do everything to keep Idaho in the game.
So he's got him down. Then now, I don't know if he wasn't just trying to lift him up,
or was it on the celebration there at the end, where he did the shooting the arrow thing.
Idaho is charged their second timeout. They had called timeout prior to the penalty enforcement. Second charge, Idaho.
So they did have the timeout called, and it is charged.
Now they're going to make them take the timeout, so both teams will go to their respective sidelines. And I think, but what do you think? Was he trying to lift him up to be malicious, or was it just, hey, quarterback, I got you, let me help you up?
See, but the flag's not coming out yet until he starts to do that, and then you see him pull out the flag.
Yeah.
So just because, based on the timing of when the flag comes out, makes me think that's where it was. Now, it looks like perhaps that it's a hand that's keeping Linehan out. Did he get it stepped on and then slammed down?
And that's the biggest concern that Idaho has, regardless of this game. Looks like they're probably not going to win this football game, but the health of Matt Linehan.
Petrino again looking towards the end zone. Right there's the catch made. Touchdown. David Ungerer with 23 seconds left. Idaho still in it. Still breathing anyway.
You'll see here, just get him on the edge. With Petrino's smaller size and stature, you can't have him sit in the pocket necessarily, particularly in the red zone. Move him around, and good job by the wide receiver of creating nice separation.
And they've got that right hand, forearm, Linehan wrapped up.
The ruling on the field is completed catch for a touchdown. Previous play is under further review.
We're going to see if Ungerer was in the end zone. If it stands, it would be the second touchdown pass of the season and career-wise for the son of head coach Paul Petrino, Mason Petrino. Mason Petrino had only 4 pass attempts coming into this game on the season. Whoa, well, there's the movement, obvious movement of the ball after he came down out of bounds. Did he complete the catch to the ground?
Been a long 59 seconds, hasn't it, Mark?
Well, with all of this that's going on, Jay, the thing that really sticks out is that Neil Brown obviously made the right decision in taking the points off the board with a field goal and scoring the touchdown.
Absolutely. And there's a look. Ball moving a little bit.
A little bit. That's moving a lot.
Yeah, I mean, ball moving. I think you got to complete the act of it. When you leave your feet,
there's enough to overturn this.
Yeah, you must maintain possession at all times throughout the act of the catch is what they call it. see Neil Brown, he has to be thinking, guys, if we don't make a couple penalties at the end and celebrations and things of that nature, this game could be over.
After further review, the rolling on the field is confirmed. Touchdown.
Wow. Really? What are we missing there? So is the reaching for the pylon the football act after the catch, and that the juggling doesn't matter? Is that what I'm reading into that?
Maybe they're saying the back tried to swat the ball away. He was trying to keep the ball away from the defensive back.
Well, he just snuck that in the left upright. Coffee does to make it a 3-point game. So now we'll get an onside kick.
Coffey's been their jack of all trades for them tonight. Handles the punting and the kicking duties, and see if he can dial up an onside kick.
They have not attempted an onside kick yet this year, so this is going to be the first time for Idaho.
Idaho once again in another one of those close contests. Be their 5th game of the season decided by
a one-possession game down to the final seconds in conference play. Yeah. Only blemish for Coffee tonight. Remember that 40-yard miss back in the first half, which right now is the difference in the game. Which was their first possession of the game.
Troy coaching staff is right next to us in the booth next to us, and when Jordan Chun scored the touchdown, they were high-fiving, ready to leave. And all of a sudden now they're all standing up, hoping they can celebrate one more time. They recover this onside kick attempt.
All right. Idaho trying to keep their slim hopes alive. It goes 10 yards, but right into the belly. That's Clark Quisenberry, who's the tight end. They're on the hands team, and Troy's going to hang on. But this is the first possession of the game for Idaho. 40-yard attempt went a little right. And that's the difference in a 3-point game. Now they just have to take a couple of knees, even though Idaho has one timeout. Troy has enough to kill the clock here. That's what's ahead for the Trojans. They go to Coastal Carolina November 11th.
December 2nd.
That's going to be a huge one, yeah. At Arkansas State and Jonesboro. And Troy is going to pick that 7th win up. Here's what's ahead for Idaho. They're now 3-6, 2-3 in conference. So for them to become bowl eligible, they're going to have to win out.
Well, they've been in a number of close games, and this is a team that's very competitive, and those could be winnable games. So we'll see how this plays out. Another interesting season in the Fun Belt Conference.
Got pretty wacky there the last minute of this football game, Jay, but Troy hangs on and wins it by 3 over Idaho, 24-21. Chun goes over 100 yards tonight with 113 in the win for the Trojans. That's going to take care of things from Troy, Alabama. For Jay Walker and our entire crew, I'm Mark Neely. Thanks for sharing this one with us. Troy hangs on. They win it by 3 over Idaho. Good night from Troy, Alabama.